come in. It don't make a damn who it is. That's right. Just in the way. That's all they are, like everybody else. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Like battle, to win in the Arena Football League, you must control the skies. Texas's Clint Dalzell is the AFL's newest top gun. The former backup has put terror in the air, turning a hapless expansion team into a contender with one of the league's most explosive offenses. Tonight, he's in a dogfight with the man he used to understudy, Milwaukee's Todd Hamill, one of the AFL's veteran aces. So strap in, buckle up, lock and load. Texas and Milwaukee, the war in the skies is next. Welcome to the Summit in Houston for a key Central Division matchup between the 4-2 Milwaukee Mustangs taking on the 3-3 Texas Terror. And tonight, a tale of two quarterbacks. On the right from Texas, Clint Dalzell. And on the left, his former teammate, Milwaukee's Todd Hamill. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle along with Mike Golic. Glad you could join us. Mike, tonight, many interesting storylines. Let's start at quarterback. Last year, Dalzell was a backup to Todd Hamill in Milwaukee, and now he's running the show here in Texas.
Well, let's start with the former teacher, Todd Hamill, trying to lead the Mustangs to their 5th straight victory. Hamill already the 3rd most prolific quarterback in Arena Football League history and only the 3rd quarterback to throw for over 10,000 yards. In a game where the scoreboard will light up, Hamill is as cool as they come. And the former student, Clint Dalzell, his first year as a starter, all he's done, over 1,500 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, and the 2nd highest rated quarterback in the league. And for good measure, he threw in 5 rushing touchdowns. A student no more, Clint Dalzell tries to lead the Texas Terror back in the divisional race.
They played earlier this year, and Milwaukee won it 59-57. A look at the Central Division standings. Milwaukee in 2nd, Texas in 3rd, both chasing the Iowa Barnstormers. Milwaukee plays Iowa next week in our ESPN2 game. Milwaukee has won the toss here in the Summit. They will receive head coach Dave Ewart. 2nd season as head coach. But the youngest man in the league at 28. There's Dave. Behind him, offensive coordinator Steve Tunn. Michael Trigg, his 3rd season with the Mustangs, 9th year. He has been a head coach, offensive coordinator, GM. More on that a little bit later.
Done it all.
A look at Ralph Strickland, just added to the Milwaukee roster this week in place of Mike Miller, offensive specialist and receiver, and Richard DeFelice kicking off for the Terror. We're underway here at the Summit in Houston. Strickland takes the care and tries to bounce it outside. Already a flag on the play, and he chill coach with the stop inside the 5-yard line.
Never good when it starts off with a penalty.
Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run.
Todd Hamill conferring with head coach Mike Trigg. A legal block in the back. The call on the return. Half the distance to the goal line. He only got it out to the 4 anyway, so it's sitting on the 2. That's where the Mustangs will put it in play.
And yeah, you're right. It doesn't hurt him too bad. A touchback would start at the 3-yard line, so they're only really a yard from that. But still, never good technically to start off the game with a penalty.
Hamill, the 6-year pro out of Stephen F. Austin, another man to keep a look on. Number 44, Lincoln Coleman. That man has a Super Bowl ring. Played 2 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys in '93 and '94. And an outstanding running back. Coleman, the ball carrier there. He's just part of a 3-headed fullback that Milwaukee employs. You'll also see Jeff Savage tonight along with Brad Lacombe. They are third in the league in that department. Milwaukee, or Texas, on the other hand, number 1 in rush defense, or Milwaukee is, I should say. Up front, Arnold Campbell, 34 years old. Gary Compton, wide open, breaks a tackle. He's going to go the distance. Touchdown, Mustangs, just like that.
It happens that fast. Just a quick out route. Dwayne Ware on the defense for Texas playing off. He comes up not in a good tackle form. You'll see him come up on his knees, not able to make the tackle. See Compton make the inside move on him. Then it's just a foot race to the end zone.
For Compton, his 4th touchdown of the season. And on to kick the extra point, Kenny Stucker, the all-arena kicker a year ago. Led the league among kickers with 140 points. Fans hardly get into the seats before Milwaukee scores to quiet them. 7-0 Mustangs early on. In Houston, and it took just the blink of an eye for the Milwaukee Mustangs to score on Texas. A touchdown pass, Todd Hamill to Gary Compton. Kenny Stucker kicking off. Dwayne Ware takes it off the net. And he breaks the tackle across the 10 out to the 15-yard line. Andy Chilcote was the first man to reach him, but he broke that tackle. 2 plays, 48 yards, that scoring drive, the 42-yard touchdown reception by Gary Compton.
Here we go. Our turn. Trade right.
Dalzell's number on this season about halfway complete. 28 touchdowns, just 7 INTs. And he quickly gets the ball to Cotto Cotton, Texas's speediest wide receiver, and a threat to go the distance on every play. And up front, perhaps their best all-around offensive defensive lineman, number 77, the second-year pro from Texas Tech, Carlos Fowler. 1st and 10, Terror inside the Mustang 25-yard line, midfield. Boyd Hill, the motion man, to give that time number 44, Andy Chilcote, 4th-year pro out of Wisconsin Stevens Point. Up front for Milwaukee, number 99, keep an eye on him, Ralph Jarvis, all-arena in 1995 and 96. He is the sack man, led the league in that department last year. And in the secondary, Wayne Wade, number 17, will keep an eye on him. Had an ankle sprain, and they were wondering if he was going to be at 100% tonight. Lloyd Hill, the motion man. And that's who Dalzell is going for. He's wide open. Touchdown. Milwaukee scored first with a 2-play drive. Texas counters with a 3-play drive.
Let me tell you, strap it down at home because the scoreboard's going to light up tonight. You see Dalzell a lot of time, likes to stay in the pocket. A big, tall quarterback hitting Hill, just crossing over the middle. Nice, easy play. The time and the protection, one of the main things that made that touchdown go. But this is going to be a high-scoring game with these 2 quarterbacks.
Texas already this season has scored over 60 points twice against San Jose and Portland earlier in the year. DeFelice on to kick the extra point. It's up. It is good. He is now 36 of 39 in that department. So the Texas Terror delight their fans by coming right back. We're tied at 7. Back with more arena football after this.
For years, ESPN has been working to improve sports for the fan.
With this new helmet, ESPN commentators can interview a batter while he's at the plate. Slugger Mickey Mantle demonstrates.
Hey, Mick. Can you hear us, Mick? Is
this distracting? Boycotted by players, the helmet did lead to a breakthrough in coverage for all sports. ESPN Sports Zone, with Peter Gammon's baseball column, player profiles, everything you need to be a better fan. ESPN Sports Zone, technology for you.
ESPN2's coverage of arena football is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of the Arena Football League. (7-7), midway through the first quarter here at the Summit in Houston, and the young man you see on the left there pointing to the scoreboard is Chris Ford, one of the fine players in the Arena Football League, a member of the Texas Terror until last week when he broke the 6th thoracic vertebrae in his back, extending for a point-after conversion. There was some great concern about him. He was unconscious for a while, but apparently he's okay, no paralysis. And I talked to him yesterday. He said he expects to be back before the season is over.
That would be something. Let me tell you, break your back or a bone in your back and then want to come back and play. That is something. You know, they took him off on the stretcher, the straight board, the whole deal. I mean, strapped him down. It was really, really a scary time for Chris Ford, but as you see, sitting in the stands, he came out of it just fine.
Texas used 3 plays in 2 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. Lloyd Hill, the man who caught the touchdown pass from Clint Dalzell. So Milwaukee's second possession, they begin at their own 5. The quick give inside to Lincoln Coleman, number 44. Texas's defense up front. Jamie Bragg capable of doing some big things. Had a key fumble recovery last week versus Orlando. And in the secondary, their hitman, number 8, Dwayne Ware, defensive specialist, played his college football with the Wolverines in Michigan.
You're going to see Milwaukee run the ball. They're second in the league, averaging 42 yards a game, which expands to a lot more if you're talking about the outdoor game. 42 yards a game is a lot in arena football, and you will see Milwaukee trying to exploit that tonight.
Ralph Strickland, the motion man. Flanker screen almost to number 28. Skip Stewart.
Okay, let's just read this, okay? Look for the press, look for everything else.
Todd Hamill getting the play from head coach Mike Trigg. Let's listen in.
Nobody jump, nobody jump. Left, we motion back, stop 90. On 3, ready? On 3.
All right, you hear what they're doing. To stop 90, the 90 protection is a 3-step drop, so it'll be a quick pass. But the main thing here, they're going on 3.
The whole idea of arena football offensively is to create as many situations as you can where you get your receivers in man-on-man situations with the defense.
Yeah, here that you saw the high motion. What Milwaukee tried to do is stop him right before he got to the line and get Texas to jump offside. We've seen a lot of offside penalties so far this year. Texas, good discipline, holding their own and not jumping offside.
53-yard attempt by Kenny Stucker. It is long enough. It is good. His longest of the season. So Kenny Stucker puts the Milwaukee Mustangs up by 3 after their second possession. 8:22 remaining in the first quarter.
Soccer sure.
But in Houston, and a long field goal by Milwaukee's Kenny Stucker. This is why he was the all-arena kicker a year ago. This one from 53 yards out, high into the ionosphere here inside the Summit. Almost hit the Rockets World Championship banners.
He cleared it by a bunch. He had no problem there last year. 140 points, second most ever by a kicker.
He's got the big leg off the net. Dwayne Ware, very dangerous return man, had 140 yards last week combined in missed field goals and kickoff returns against Orlando. Jeff Savage on the stop. So Texas begins their second possession at their own 11-yard line. Ware, the defensive specialist, going to the sidelines, one of the few players in the Arena League the specialist, offensive and defensive, that don't go both ways.
It's 1st and 10 for Texas Terror.
Last time Dalzell faced the Mustangs, he won the battle but lost the war with Todd Hamill. 7 touchdown passes. This time he hits number 84, Edwin Howard. They just put him on the roster. 6'4", 210 out of Rice. And his coaching staff loves him because they say he's got Barry Wagner type size, only a step faster.
Exactly right. Keep an eye on this guy. As Mike said, 6'4". They're going to try and exploit him on the shorter defensive backs, whether short routes or long routes, but he is a guy that can go over the middle.
Dave Ewart, the Texas coach, youngest head coach in the league at 28. Howard again, the motion man. Trips now to the left. 3 wide receivers. Cotto Cotton had a step on his man. Clint overthrew him and was wound up on the seat of his pants.
Yeah, he had a chance there. He overthrew him a little bit. Had to throw it a little before he wanted to because Ralph Jarvis was coming right on him. You see coming from the right of your screen, number 99 makes a nice inside move and gets Clint right as he's throwing the ball. Believe me, it may not look like it affects it, but I guarantee you Clint sees him out of the corner of his eye, sees him coming, and knows he may have to release it a little bit sooner than he may want to.
Zell tonight, 3 of 4, 37 yards, and of course the touchdown pass to Lloyd Hill. This just their second possession. Trying to jump out on top. Milwaukee currently leading 10-7. Dalzell. Bernard Holmes, the man who has to pick up the slack now that Chris Ford is out of the lineup. The intended receiver there, Wayne Wade on the coverage.
You'll see great coverage. See his hand come right in. This is a touchdown all the way. Wayne Wade showing good break speed. As the ball is thrown, he breaks to the pass, gets his hand in there. This kid's out of Akron. I'll tell you, he leads the league with 10 pass defenses, but he is a heavy, heavy hitter on this team.
Second in that department. You saw Rick Frazier maybe throw up his hands, double motion, 2 men in motion at the same time.
Flag on the play.
Going against Texas, they're going to decline it though.
We have an illegal shift on the offense. Penalty refused. 4th down.
He can't come, I know that.
2 men in motion, the illegal shift call. Dave Ewart, the Texas head coach, sending his kicker onto the field. Richard DeFelice. 42-yard attempt. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line, plus the 8 of the end zone. And this one is hooked to the left and no good. So a defensive stop for the Milwaukee defense. And one lucky fan has a free Ironman football. Back with more in a moment. By the Texas Terror, Milwaukee able to retain their 3-point lead. 10-7 here, 5:14 remaining at the first quarter here at the Houston Summit Arena. Get floored, Pontiac Excitement Nationals, the NHRA Excitement Nationals pay-per-view Sunday. Live all day on pay-per-view for only $14.95. Call your cable operator or satellite provider to subscribe. You watch that, you get a trackside seat here in arena football. We give you a ringside seat, an arena side seat. In your face. Milwaukee with the ball at their 5-yard line. Hamill going long. Headed for number 4, David Andrews. Good pressure up front by number 93, Ricky Shaw.
You're going to see this coming from the left of your screen. Ricky Shaw, they just acquired him. Nice pushback, goes down. Bends the knee, a little bit of Hamill, but nice pressure. Ricky Shaw just picked up in a trade from San Jose. I actually played with Ricky Shaw with the Eagles back in the early 90s. This guy has got a lot of experience. I'm sorry, that's Mitchell Benson with the pressure.
Hamill to throw, and in trouble again. Ralph Strickland had to break off his panter and tried to come back for the ball and couldn't get it.
Good pressure again. Harrison that time, Benson that time got the great pressure last time, dragged to the ground.
Right cross on this, okay? Let's go right wing motion back. Let's run
Right, wing motion back, 72 rainbow. On one, ready?
The rainbow referring to a crossing pattern, all receivers crossing. Wing motion. David Andrews, the wingman, number 94, the motion man. That pass intended underneath for Strickland, incomplete.
Yeah, what they try and do with the rainbow call, just said that the receivers will cross, try and create space by crossing, maybe picking off one of the defenders, and in essence becoming wide open. In that case, Texas with some great coverage, nobody open.
So 4th down, no punting in arena football. Strickland walking back to the sidelines with his head coach Mike Trigg. Ralph just added this week, a rookie from Northern Illinois. 51-yard attempt by Kenny Stucker. If you've just joined us earlier, he hit one from 53 yards out. Strong leg and a perfect kick, but a flag on the play. That one was, I was incorrect, 60-yard attempt.
'60-yard field goal. He is hot tonight after struggling most of the year. Now that's defensive holding that could give him the first down. Do you take the points off the board
and erase perhaps a record field goal?
It looks like they're going to do it. It looks like they're going to, you know, there's always that old adage, never take points off the board.
The held took place at the snap. 8-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Here's the kick, 60-yarder. Great kick. They're going to take the points off the board. Always questionable when you do that, and they'll take the first down. So really have to keep an eye on what they get out of this series now that they've taken 3 points off the board.
Mike Trigg electing to keep this drive alive. 2:28 remaining here in the first quarter. Milwaukee up by 3. They have the ball. At their 17, Strickland in motion. The draw play to Brad Lacombe, number 48. Last year he was second in the league in rushing. Part of that three-headed monster that Mike Trigg likes to use at fullback. Lincoln Coleman, Jeff Savage, and that man, Brad Lacombe.
And again, Milwaukee, they have the second best rushing attack in the league. Nice draw play. And as you mentioned, they've got 3 guys that can carry the load in Savage, Lacombe, and Coleman. And they will run the ball and try and exploit Texas.
Saw Lacombe on the field before the game. Third-year pro, looks much bigger than his 6 feet, 240 pounds would indicate.
Every official on the field threw a flag there.
Illegal snap. Number 65, offense. 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. Replay, first down.
It's number 65, Ross Setters. See, he kind of half snaps the ball. Here's the guy they just signed 3 weeks ago. And the reason they picked him up in '94, that's his replacement now, just came in, Brian Drummy. Setters goes out. They brought him in because in '94 he was the starting center for the Arizona Rattlers. They went on to get a Arena Bowl ring that year. They figure he's got a lot of great experience, so they want to bring him in.
First and 12 from the 20-yard line. Strickland in motion. Hamill's got some time and a man open. Skip Stewart, touchdown, Mustangs.
Well, I guess they should have taken the 3 points off the board, huh? Makes head coach Michael Trigg look like a genius in that instance. Here again, time in the pocket creates a lot of things. Just a little bit of pressure at the end, wide open.
And come on now, Michael, what would you expect from a former quarterback who led his league to an Arena Bowl title back in 1989 with the Detroit Drive, Mike Trigg?
I'll take the points off, the 3 off the board and go for the 7.
Kenny Stucker on to attempt the extra point. It is stuffed. Darrell Lane, 92, the man with the football. Was he the man on the block? Rodney Gober might have gotten it.
And these rushes come straight up the middle. You're not allowed to rush on the outside, so it's just all a push in the middle. That time, that was a big push.
And anytime you can keep your opponent from putting points on the board, even if it's only a single point in this game, it's important.
Here we'll take a look at the block. It's going to come right up the gut. Again, you can't rush from the outside. Boy, tough to get a look at who blocked that. They were up high going for the block and then got flipped.
Lane, the man who picked up the football, now trying to pump up this Texas crowd here at this summit. Third, 3:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Stucker's kick is long and off the middle of the net. Very difficult to get a read on it. Ware tries to do that, but tackled in his own end zone. They'll bring it out to the 5. Skip Stewart on the stop, the man who just made the touchdown reception.
That's the great thing about this league. You score on a long touchdown reception, slap a couple of high fives, and get right back out on the field. This is after you go 5 plays for almost 5 minutes. Skip Stewart with the touchdown, then right back down on kickoff coverage to make a big play.
Not only good hands, but fast hands. Skip Stewart, a former Dallas Golden Glove champion. It's a middleweight and a light heavyweight.
29-3 record.
Texas now down by 9. Dalzell, the hill, a couple of nice juke moves. He left several people in his wake, Michael James for one. But that's the end of the first quarter of play. They'll keep the drive going, but it'll be the second quarter when we return to Houston after this. Summit in Houston, Texas, where the Milwaukee Mustangs, going after their 5th consecutive victory, lead Texas 16-7. A couple of field goals by all-arena kicker Milwaukee's Kenny Stucker, and the touchdown pass from Todd Hamill.
Still amazed you take a 60-yarder off the board. I mean, it worked out for him, but if you're the kicker, you got to be feeling pretty bummed about that.
2nd and a yard for the Tear on their own 14-yard line. Dalzell. He's got his man. Bernard Holmes. First-year man out of Texas A&M at Kingsville. 6 feet 180. And a speed burner. Very quick, very dangerous.
Talking to Dave Ewart before the game, and he said this guy came in halfway through the preseason, never played arena football before. He said this guy in the first game gets 11 receptions. He said, I got to find a spot for this guy on the team.
Instant impact. Michael James, the man who finally brought him down. Texas now has the ball in Milwaukee territory at the 19. Lloyd Hill in motion. Rodney Blackshear wide open. Touchdown. Dalzell had all day long to throw. Give a lot of credit to Fowler, Harrison, and Ralph Kofer, the 3 up front man for Texas.
And you're right. I mean, these are long passes. He's throwing for touchdowns. To throw a long pass, you've got to have some time. Always the unsung heroes are those linemen who create time for the quarterback. That's why they got that touchdown.
Somehow, I don't know why these guys aren't excited. Watch the game. Come on. DeFelice on to kick the extra point. It's good, and it brings the Texas Terror to within 2. So the second touchdown pass of the night for Clint Dalzell, and the Texas Terror are back in the hunt. Milwaukee Mustangs holding a 2-point lead on Texas. Next Sunday on ESPN2, it's boxing from the Foxwood Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut, a 12-round WBU cruiserweight title. Don Diego Potter, 18-0 with 14 knockouts, taking on tough Terry Ray, 33-4. He's got 20 KO. That's Sunday at 10 Eastern on ESPN2. Richard DeFelice trying to apply the knockout to that little arena football.
He's one of the few we've seen. He actually kicks him over the net to leave you no chance for a return.
But a clean carom for Ralph Strickland. Boy, he's got some speed, and he's got a lane, and DeFelice, the only man standing in his way from a touchdown, he tripped him up.
And the kickers, that's exactly right. They have got to be that last line of defense. Watch the block by Gary Compton, number 2. You'll see it on the left of your screen. He's going to seal it off on number 77 right there. A nice block that gives the outside before DeFelice makes the tackle. A great tackle by the kicker. I mean, hey, anytime the kicker can get the guy on the ground, doesn't matter what it looks like, it's a great tackle.
Mike Trigg very excited about the prospects of Ralph Strickland, who they just brought in this week. Mike Miller was the offensive specialist. Hamill finds Gary Compton, one of his favorite receivers, inside the Texas 4. So back come the Mustangs.
Another team that likes the crossing routes. This time Strickland and Compton do the crossing routes. Nice throw by Hamill. Led him. It was actually pretty good coverage by Lloyd Hill. Got the ball out and away. Hill couldn't get a chance for the interception.
Now inside the red zone. Anytime they're inside the 10, tough territory for offenses to score. Pato Cotton, the motion man. Uh-oh, busted play. Hamill in trouble. Somehow gets it off. He was going for Jarvis. Ralph Jarvis, the only way he likes to play offense is if they throw him the ball. So, hey, Todd, do me a favor. We'll just put it in my breadbasket anyway.
Yeah, they've got to throw him a bone every now and then. That was going to be a running play to Lincoln Coleman. Either the quarterback turned the wrong way or Lincoln Coleman ran the wrong way. But you see what Milwaukee's capable of when they run the ball. And down in this area, they love to give the ball to that fullback. And right now, that would be Lincoln Coleman.
The Mustangs second only to the Orlando Predators. Coleman, number 44, he's the back. Second-year pro from Baylor. That's the man they give the ball to. And a really good play there. But Coleman kept his feet. I thought Jamie Bragg had him. Bragg was right there at the point of attack, and then somehow Coleman wiggled away.
Coleman did a nice job keeping his balance. Guy's down at his legs. Watch him keep his balance as he bends over, never goes to the ground, the knee never drops. There's a big reason why the guy's got a Super Bowl ring. He goes low, stays on his feet, tries to create something. Now it's all him. You're not going to get a lot of help from the offense on a broken play once you start to cut it back, so it's got to be an individual effort. He picks up 3 big, tough yards for him.
Got some serious playing time with the Cowboys, backing up Emmitt Smith. 3rd and goal, pitch to the motion man, Strickland. He's going nowhere. Dwayne Ware, number 8. The first man to reach him, but he had a lot of help.
Dwayne Ware, Chad Kofer, both and a few others. You also see number 90, Kofer, coming in to force him a little wider as Ware cleans him up. Great job of stretching. This field is shorter than the outdoor, so when a running play, you want to stretch it, make it go east and west. Exactly what Texas did. No room to turn the shoulders upfield.
Chad Kofer having a good night, going both ways for the Texas Terror, number 90. Kenny Stucker on to attempt the extra point, or I should say the field goal. 21 yards. Hamill with the hold, the spot, and the kick is good. Kenny Stucker, his third field goal of the night, or second, I should say. And the Mustangs have taken a 19-14 lead. Back with more arena football in a moment. Earlier, these teams bet on May 23rd, and Texas almost pulled it out. The touchdown pass to Cotto Cotton from Clint Dalzell. Then the try for two. Milwaukee stuffed them, and the Mustangs hang on to win it 59-57 to set up the rematch here tonight at the Summit in Houston.
And you know Clint Dalzell, anytime he gets a chance to play Milwaukee, he licks his chops. And as you said before, he did win the battle, but they lost the war. In that loss, he threw for 7 touchdown passes, but got the loss.
Stucker with another big kick, but Ware, some bad special teams play on the part of the Mustangs. Ware could go the distance. Oh, somehow Michael James, number 7 from Milwaukee, able to pull him down from behind, but a sensational kickoff return by Dwayne Ware, who's doing it on offense, on defense, and special teams.
Well, you'll see the middle of the field just open up. James is going to have him right at the beginning. You'll see James right there, and he just follows him. Watch Ware's going to cut it back to the middle. There is nobody there. The lanes were not kept, obviously, by Milwaukee covering because the middle got wide open. Credit James for falling all the way down to stop. But Ware, what a great run.
He had a 55-yarder last week for a touchdown against Orlando. Obviously, great field position for the Terror. Dalzell on the rollout. Hey!
Well, the wall is that extra man.
But Savage, I think, number 25, gave him something extra. This was after he had gotten the ball, or released the ball.
Yeah, his momentum was going toward the wall, and Savage just kind of helped him along well after the pass.
Now, I think it's only fair if the fans are allowed to keep the football if they go into the stands. You got to be able to keep the football player.
You should be able to take Clint Dalzell home.
Or go out on a date or whatever. Have him buy you a dinner.
Absolutely a late hit, though. Savage just taking his momentum right into the wall.
Clint talking to offensive coordinator Steve Tahn. Served in that position a year ago for Milwaukee.
Wow, Luke, 35 loaded. Don't want ready? Leading.
All right, here we go. First and goal from the 1. Andy Chilcott. Chilcote, the lone setback. Bernard Holmes in motion. Keeper, oh yeah. Nifty play. Well, you said at the top of the telecast, Michael, that not only can Dalzell throw the football, 5 rushing touchdowns this season as well.
Makes it number 6. A nice job here. They clear out that side by the motion man. He fakes the handoff. Now the running back becomes the lead blocker and actually opens it up for Dalzell on the touchdown.
Wasn't exactly an Earl Campbell power thrust, but it got the job done, and he's got that long body at 6'4". He was able to extend anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty thing, but still counts.
And for the first time in this game, the Texas Terror have taken the lead. The touchdown run by Clint Dalzell, the Terror on top by 2. With 8:35 remaining here in the second quarter, finally take the lead, 21-19. A year ago, they were 0-7 in the Summit on the way to a 1-13 record. You talk about dramatic turnarounds.
Well, you see improvement everywhere, and they could set a record. Right now, they're a little over 20 points in scoring per game. That would be a record. Turnovers way down. Sacks, that's a big one. Last year they gave up 31 sacks. This year they've only given up 4. A lot to do with that. Only 5 players from last year's team on this year's team. Almost a complete overhaul.
And a booming kick by D. Felice. This one over the net, in the stands, and of course that is free football time for the fans.
You got to figure the favorite seat in the house here at the Summit is behind the nets, because when Steve Felice kicks that ball off, it's almost assuredly going to be a trophy for somebody's trophy room.
And for Clint Dalzell, his 6th rushing touchdown of this 97 season. Third-year pro from East Texas State, which is now Texas A&M at Commerce. I guess Texas A&M, the Aggies are swallowing up all kinds of small schools. Hamill's pass intended for David Andrews, incomplete. Or Ralph Strickland, I should say.
Let me have the same play.
Heard him say, plain and simple, same play.
My bad. Trips right. We motion back. 60 sail. On one. Ready? Be ready. No, wrong.
Wing motion.
On one.
And the wing is number 4, David Andrews.
Go!
And he's now in motion. Here's that little slant pattern to Strickland. Gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Guess he thought they were going to stay in the same defense. He just said same play, defensive back, playing off. So he hit him with the quick pass. A little high. You want to hit him a little more in stride on those quick slants so they continue running right when they catch the ball. The more they have to deviate from their stride, the more time you're giving that defensive back to come up, a chance to come up and make the play.
Strickland getting mucho playing time tonight in his first arena football game. Actually was waived by this team earlier this year. Plenty of pressure up front by Petty. Fred Petty, number 76.
It's amazing what you can do with pressure on a quarterback. It takes him out of his flow. Okay, especially up the middle. It's one thing from around the end, but up the middle, it's tough. A quarterback still cannot step into his throw.
53-yard attempt now by Kenny Stucker. Well, we know he's got the leg. This one blocked. Edwin Howard, number 84, at 6'4", the big frame, covering it up.
Talked about him, the versatility of possibly a Barry Wagner, an Ironman type performance. You see it coming right up the middle. Again, that's where they have to rush. Coming right inside number 28. Skip Stewart pushes it back and then gets his arms up.
You know, whether it's the National Football League, college, CFL, AFL, arena game, special teams are always important. Texas on top of this game because of special teams. The long kickoff return by Ware and the block by Edwin Howard. 1st and 10 at the 5-yard line. Dalzell lost the ball momentarily, looking for Howard. Lucky to get it off.
Yeah, that was going to be a quick pass. He never even had control of the ball to make the quick throw. By then, the defensive back able to get the coverage.
Dalzell, who was Todd Hamill's backup last year in Milwaukee. Mike Trigg didn't want to give him up, but...
Here we go, left. No, left. Wide loop. 39, wide toss. Come on, ready? Come on, Ed. Blocking now. Wide toss.
But he had so much talent.
Yeah, he couldn't let him stay a backup. He knew he had to let him go. This guy had too much talent to be a backup.
Wide toss. The wide receiver, Edwin Howard. Play took a little long to develop. Thus the loss. Arnold Campbell, 8th-year pro from Alcorn State.
Look at Campbell, the nose man, number 77. See him just slide down the line, does a nice job just moving down the line. Here's a guy that wanted to play for Milwaukee. About every team wanted him. He's 34 years old. He's got a wife, a 5-year-old kid, and a baby on the way in Chicago. He said, hey, it's an hour drive. I don't want to go play anywhere else.
Howard, the motion man, and we've got an interception by Michael James in the end zone. Howard had fallen down in the play.
He had him too, had him right in the front of the end zone. He had Howard on the break, but Howard ends up on his knees. The ball sails past right where Howard would have been. You see him on the ground there. Michael James, a nice job stepping into it.
So the Milwaukee Mustangs today, Ewart get a break of their own, or Mike Trigg, I should say, get a break of their own. They'll have the ball when we return. 21-19 here in the second quarter. Mike Trigg, the head coach, realized his team just received a gift.
You see Howard right there fell down. He would have been a beautifully led pass for a touchdown because he was in front of James, who was playing a little deeper in the end zone. James had to be like, hey, ball's coming right to me. I'm going to catch it. Nice job going after it. A lot of field goal attempts today, a couple of blocked field goals, and usually we've seen a lot of consecutive scoring on possessions. Tonight, those have been really interrupted with blocked field goals.
And a big one there by Michael James, the fourth-year pro, his second INT of the year. He's from Arkansas.
They didn't even get anything going, and they threw a flag.
We have a procedure on the offense. Two tight end declaring. The dead ball foul, half the distance to the goal, replay first down.
Mike, in previous weeks, we've had difficulties getting anybody to raise their hand. Now two people are signifying, hey, I'm the tight end.
You'll see one lineman raise his hand coming to the line. He is the tight end. They came and both raised their hand. Can't have two tight ends.
First and 13, Skip Stewart on the flanker screen. Knocked out of bounds by Dwayne Ware, number 8, who's having a great game.
That's an interesting play. David Andrews, another one of the wide receivers, actually came in the high motion and then blocked the man that was covering Stewart to open up Stewart. And then there's a flag at the end of the play.
Have an illegal block in the back against the offense. Penalties refused. Results of the play. Second down.
David Andrews, who we were talking about coming in motion, to the left he'll be in motion, then he's going to block the man covering Stewart. You'll see it out here. He hits him right in the back there and knocks him down. And he goes after him and hits him again when he's already down, but that first time in the back, illegal.
So Milwaukee will try it again on second down. And Hamill going for it all. Andrews open. Almost picked off by Dwayne Ware. David Andrews had a step.
Ball underthrown there. He did. He had a step and a half on him. Hamill not able to, you'll see him have to slow up, wait for the ball, giving Ware time to come over, almost comes up with the interception. He gets the ball farther, that's touchdown.
I asked injured wide receiver from Texas, Chris Ford, who was the toughest defender he had to play against from his Texas team. He said, without question, Dwayne Ware may not be the best coverage guy, but he's tough, he's relentless, and he's going 100% all the time. Heavy pressure, Hamill rolls to his left. Strickland, great catch. First down, Mustangs. Huge catch on third down to keep the drive alive.
Hamill did a nice job buying time on that big pressure up the middle. But unfortunately, when that happens, you lose your defensive end. You see number 50 coming right up the middle, but the end is also inside, so Hamill's able to escape it to the outside and buy more time. Lofts the ball up. Beautiful catch by Strickland.
Both coaches were talking about the importance of containment on the part of the two defensive ends, keeping the quarterbacks in the pocket and not freelancing, trying spin moves that take you out of the lane. Brad Lacombe, the ball carrier for the Mustangs. Milwaukee trailing by 2.
Be ready, be ready. Here we go. Hey, come here. Let's go right. 60 Z go. First down. Ready? What? 60 Z go. First down. Right.
All right, 60. That's going to be a 5-step drop, so you're going to see a little longer of a pattern. You heard the Z go. They may try and go deep.
Man at the bottom of your screen, Skip Stewart, the Z-man.
Go, Dave, go, Dave, go, Dave.
Underneath, however, to David Andrews. And another first down for Milwaukee.
When you hear the Z go, that's the main receiver And that's who Hamill looked at first, saw there was some deep coverage, so then he looks off to his secondary route.
Andrews 32 receptions this year, 10th in the league. .104 remaining here in the first half. They'll let it get down to the 1 minute mark, and from here on in, the clock stops on incompletions and out of bounds plays. Coming up at halftime, scores and highlights from around the league, and also we'll turn it over to ESPN News for all the festivities on this day in sports. .1 minute remaining. The give to Lacombe. See why Mike Trigg's so high on this young man.
Michael Trigg loves that running game. You're going to see they're all going to start everything to the left. The motion man goes to the left. Everything goes to the left. You come back to the right. The old cross-buck action to the three-headed fullback, as you like to call them. They love to run that ball.
Timeout, Texas. And as they take a timeout, so will we. The Terror trail or lead by 2. Back with the final 46 seconds after this.
Gentlemen, it's such an honor to be with you today. The crowd is waiting, so Tab, what's it to be? Tails or my likeness?
Your likeness, Your Majesty.
I knew you would say that. Here we go. Oh, my dear Tab, I can't help but feel as though I've let you down in some way.
Don't worry about it. Just a coin toss.
Right, right. Well, play fair. Carry on. It was just a coin toss. They haven't lost the game.
Back here at the Summit in Houston. Mustangs on the Terror front door. But Brad Lacombe, successful on his previous 2 rushing attempts, stuffed that time.
Tried basically the same play. That time Mitchell Benson for Texas right there. But they get down in this position. They love to run that ball with Savage, Coleman, and now Brad Lacombe. Brad Lacombe, an all-stater in hockey in high school.
St. Cloud State. So Todd Hamill and company will go to the sideline. Texas coach Dave Ewart will talk to his troops as well. We'll be back with more after this.
While Tony Hawk trained for the X Games, Mike volunteered to find.
Big Frank, the Texas mascot.
That's original.
Let's hope he doesn't look like that under the mask.
All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. Mustangs 1 for 5 on first down, 3rd down conversions. That time they got the score. Ralph Strickland, who is seeing considerable playing time tonight for the Mustangs, puts Milwaukee back out in front.
Again, inside the 5-yard line, they love running the ball, whether it's to the motion man or the fullbacks. Strickland gets airborne at the end. The ball crosses the plane. That's all that counts.
Kenny Stucker now with a chance to put the Mustangs up by 5, and he does so. 26-21 with 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Well, coming up Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Major League Soccer on ESPN. From Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, it's Colorado versus Columbus. Columbus second in the Eastern Conference with a 6-5 record. Colorado at 4-7 in Columbus, led by their fine goaltender, Brad Friedel. Took Milwaukee 8 plays and 45 yards, about 4 minutes off the clock.
It's a nice drive. The more normal drives, you may see 5 plays, 4 plays, 2-minute drive. This is a long drive in arena football, and I would say to get the lead and the momentum going at halftime, but there's still 9 ticks on the clock, and that could be plenty of time to get another score. Notice how Milwaukee kicks off. They don't line up. They're in a bunch, and they go from there. That's how they start. So they're not, the receiving team not sure which lane they're coming down.
The bounce off the net. Ware trying to field it. Can't do it. It'll be a touchback for the Texas Terror.
Actually did a smart thing staying in the end zone. Didn't really look like he was too anxious to come out of there. Would have got buried. Probably on the 1 or 2, at least now at the touchback. They'll get it on the 5. The kickers try and kick it as close to the uprights as they can. That one almost hit the uprights, so the ball comes off more on an angle and not straight down into Ware's hands. He had to move for it, couldn't get to it.
Well, Clint Dalzell, we know he can make it happen in a hurry. He's got 9 seconds to put Texas back out in front. That one out of bounds, incomplete. 5 seconds remain.
Well, 5 seconds ago, they're going to have to go deep, throwing up. And now remember, if they do throw the Hail Mary, if it comes off that screen, it is a live ball.
Z-zoom, 50 snap.
Come on now. Trade right, Z-zoom, 50 stack, Z-post. Don't ready? 50 on 1. Go!
Dalzell able to roll to his right, and actually Milwaukee got away with one right there.
Milwaukee getting nice pressure up the middle both times. A couple times Campbell, one of the men, but they're getting good pressure and making Dalzell move to the outside.
But the bad thing about that is it gives him time to throw. They want to keep him in that pocket.
They're getting good pressure in the middle. And again, we're talking about the ends breaking containment. That time, Garrett Greedy did not keep contained. He came from the linebacker or the end position. He's got to stay outside up the field so Dalzell does not have that escape route.
Final play here of the first half. Well, you know what? I think they had the flea flicker on there. Bernard Holmes was looking to pitch it to Rodney Blackshear. Milwaukee wasn't biting, and that's the way the first half ends. The Milwaukee Mustangs going for their 5th consecutive victory, leading the Texas Terror 26-21. In a game that has been something less than aesthetically pleasing, but plenty of action.
Yeah, we, talked about the beginning possibility of that scoreboard lighting up. The last game, 59-57. This one looking to be in the 40s, but more field goals than normal.
Well, coming up next at halftime, we'll have ESPN News, all the scores and highlights from this day in sports, and then we'll be back later. 21 for Texas, 26 for Milwaukee. Back after this.
And a triple word score, that's 102, and another 50, had to make it 459-62.
Get a Polaroid one-step camera for under 25 bucks.
Come on, it's your move.
Because you never know when you might need it.
Morning.
Yeah, right. You might have to rethink this quit smoking. Hey, cold turkey's rough. What, and that's not that CQ? It's a big help. What it helped me is one cigarette. Let's do it. No. Just one. No. It burns me how calm you are. That's the CQ.
Only CQ starts you off with the highest level of medicine. A 24-hour stream that's still with you when you wake up.
It helps calm the cravings, you'll see.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
On their journey to the X Games, Mike Mitchell and Lawrence Fry really enjoyed the X Games soundtrack album. 16 modern cuts on one CD, featuring new tracks from Bush, Goldfinger, Sublime,
Life is so love the one you got, 'cause you might
and
get
Chronic Future. Also, Civ, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Prodigy, Helmet, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, and more.
X Games, the soundtrack album, on sale now.
It is halftime here at the Summit in Houston. The Milwaukee Mustangs leading the Texas Terror 26-21. A reminder, next Saturday night on ESPN2's coverage of arena football, it's the same Milwaukee Mustangs playing host to the Iowa Barnstormers at the Bradley Center in the battle for supremacy in the Arena Football League Central Division. Stick around. Stats and highlights coming up. Mustangs lead the Texas Terror by 5.
If you'd like to turn loose coins into cash, you need Power Sorter, the amazing new automatic coin bank that sorts, rolls, and saves all your loose change. Just toss in a handful of coins and listen to the sound of savings. It instantly sorts quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. The Power Sorter automatically sends each denomination into the proper coin wrapper. It sorts and counts in seconds. Amazing. When the rolls are full, get ready for the big bank. Your loose change adds up to big bucks in no time. Power Sorter is the fun, fast way to save for that rainy day. It's so much fun, children will learn to enjoy saving money in their motorized piggy bank. Now the amazing Power Sorter can be yours through this exclusive TV offer for only $19.95. It comes with 24 coin wrappers, color-coded for each denomination. Now improve your cash flow for only $19.95 and keep the change.
To order Power Sorter, have your credit card ready and call toll-free now. Power Sorter, state-of-the-art power banking. This exclusive TV offer is only $19.95. Call and order yours today.
Milwaukee Mustangs leading the Texas Terror at halftime here at the Summit in Houston, 26-21. And Mike Golic, the Mustangs of Mike Trigg wasted no time in getting on the scoreboard. Todd Hamill, the great quarterback, went to work early.
Boy, this game started out like there was going to be a touchdown in every possession. Early to Compton, breaks a tackle, goes deep, he scores. Texas is going to answer quickly with a touchdown themselves, but it ends up turning into somewhat of a special team feast. Dwayne Ware, some huge returns for Texas. Then we also had some missed field goals, some blocked field goals, and some successful field goals to go along with some great returns like this one right here.
Ware not just doing it on special teams on returns, but also defensively as well, covering Milwaukee's talented wide receivers as we take a look at the first half numbers.
Well, you know, 5 points separates both teams right now, and from these stats, it looks like a 5-point different game. They are very close. You see average yards per play the exact same. Rushing yards, a big factor right now in Milwaukee's favor. We talked about that. Look for them to pad those stats in the second half.
Two great quarterbacks, Todd Hamill and Clint Dalzell, will air it out to be sure in the second half. Mustangs lead by 5. We'll be back with the second half kickoff right after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Rusty Wallace, and I race for beer. And now you can too. Go to any Hooters restaurant and compete in the Great Race for Beer sweepstakes. Win great prizes like racing jackets, hats, and even a trip to the big race in Daytona. So make a pit stop into Hooters. Minute 15 seconds. Great time, girls. Hey, with a pit crew like this, who's in a hurry?
Catch the Hooters USAR Stock Car Series every week on ESPN2.
This is my idea of a challenge. So when I took the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice, that's what I thought I was getting into. What I got was a sure thing. High Endurance deodorant. It evaporates less quickly than the leading stick. It also lasts longer and protects better. Old Spice even guarantees it. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. So if you're looking for a real challenge, the sky's the limit. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try High Endurance from Old Spice. Because now you've got proof. And a guarantee.
Citgo is proud to offer Open Road Rock, a 3-volume set of hard-driving classic rock hits from Rod Stewart, Santana, Yes, and more. Each tape's only $2.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up, $4.99 for CDs. Plus, you could win this 1971 Corvette convertible in the Open Road Rock sweepstakes. Open Road Rock from Citgo, because the thrill of the road is nothing without music.
Third quarter about to get underway, Milwaukee and Texas. Mustangs lead by 5. Milwaukee to kick off to begin the second half. Kenny Stucker, who's hit a couple of field goals, the all-arena kicker tonight. And Ware, the dangerous return man, but this time he won't get it outside his 5-yard line. MacArthur Johnson, number 58, a rookie from Northwest Oklahoma State, on the stop of Ware. Talk about it again, the Texas turnaround. How do you increase 21 points per game in a single offseason or season?
Yep, 20 new players on a team.
Fire them all.
From last year's team that only won 1 game.
Clint Dalzell and company putting the ball in play at their 4-yard line. Incomplete. Cato Cotton. Haven't called his name much tonight. He's a very dangerous man.
These are two teams so sure in their offensive skills that they will try a lot of different plays, like the short passes like that, intermediate to long. Some other teams we've seen more conservative play calling. These two teams are gonna let it all air out. They're gonna try those trick plays, try those setup plays. That was one right there, trying the quick pass, having another receiver block for the actual receiver.
2nd and 10 for the Terror at their own 4. Bernard Holmes, the motion man. Oh, nice, wonderful layout reception by Lloyd Hill.
Dalzell does a nice job of not putting the ball where it can be intercepted. He does have one, but his receiver fell down. You see that one low and away. The only way the receiver is going to get it if he lays out for it. No chance for an interception by Michael James. Low and away, it's either incomplete or a completion. Great effort by Lloyd Hill on the reception.
And with that, replay, conclusive proof that he did not trap it. Clean catch. 1st and 10, Terror at the 17. Hill again in motion. Dalzell getting pressure from MacArthur Johnson. And somehow, someway, he got that pass off. And the reception to Andy Chilcote.
Well, what happened there, the tight end was actually in the route, so MacArthur Johnson had the rush, but he came inside too much. Just as we talked about, he let the quarterback out of the pocket. Dalzell has more time. His receivers cross. They run with Dalzell, able to make the completion to Chilcote.
Milwaukee spent a lot of time looking at last week's Orlando game with Texas, and they saw that the Predators had great success by keeping Clint in that pocket. Hill, the high motion man, underneath the Cato Cotton, touchdown, Texas. The first-year pro from Arkansas, Cato Cotton, with 4.3 speed, turned it on there.
And after that play, the DBs from Milwaukee all kind of looking at each other. He's too wide open for that. There's no way he should catch the ball and have nobody within 10 yards of him. You see the defensive backs after the play started looking at each other like who was supposed to be there. There's no doubt it was a breakdown.
Cato extremely versatile. He scored on a touchdown reception of 45 this year, a 51-yard kickoff return, and also an interception return for 49 yards and a score. The kick by DeFelice is good. And the Texas Terror, much to the delight of the hometown fans here at the Summit, are back out in front. They lead by 2.
Have you ever considered a career as a commercial diver? If so, there's no better school to give you the training than Divers Institute of Technology. Whether it's working on offshore oil, underwater construction, raising sunken vessels on a salvage job, or doing hull repair, Divers Institute of Technology has the staff, the equipment, and the location to offer real open water training. Divers Institute of Technology. Call today to start your career as a commercial diver.
Now you can have an HIV test kit sent to your home. Just call this toll-free number and you'll receive a complete home access kit. It costs $44.95 plus shipping and handling and includes everything you need to collect a sample and get your accurate anonymous results in 3 business days. If this isn't the right time to call, call when the time is right. Remember, 1-800-HIV-TEST.
The Texas Terror have jumped back out in front after that touchdown pass completion from Dalzell to Cato Cotton. Terror lead 28-26, and they had that lead without the services of one of the finest receivers in the game, Chris Ford, who was injured last week, but very thankfully for all the people who follow this game, Chris Ford is okay. Chris, how difficult is it for you to sit and watch this thing?
Oh, I'm having a blast, especially because we're winning now. I mean, it's a whole different perspective. I haven't seen so many games from the sidelines, and it made me realize when I'm through with this game, I'll definitely be a fan of it.
All right, Chris, we're going to keep going. We're going to watch the kickoff here and come back to you.
Okay.
The Felice nails it in the corners, actually out of bounds, so they'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line.
Chris, I mean, you hit the wall last week, break a bone in your back, get carted off on the stretcher. Everybody quiet, wondering what's happening. You break that bone. People think you're out for the year. You think you're going to come back. You think you're going to play again this year?
Oh, yeah. I'll be back probably in about 4 or 5 weeks. Luckily, there's no core damage. It's just a bone, and even though it's a spine, once it heals, it heals. I've got a little brace that I wear. Didn't wear it tonight, but once it heals, I'm good to go, and I'll be in pretty good shape and do a little bit of running here in a couple of weeks. So I'll be back and then make the playoffs, which I think we will. I'll be there for that as well.
Chris Ford, a man who scored 11 touchdowns, tied for 5th in the league. Chris, your impressions of your teammates in the first half?
I think they're doing great. Once again, the offense is always led by Clint Dalzell. Defensively, we're doing pretty good. We're making some big plays. We're still getting beat in the secondary a little more than we'd like, but as long as our offense keeps it up, we'll be all right.
All right, Chris, thanks for joining us, and good luck.
Okay, thanks.
The defense that Chris was just talking about gave a little there as Gary Compton was able to take the ball from Todd Hamill inside the 14-yard line.
Here you see the scoring drive, a normal arena scoring drive right here, about 4 or 5 plays in the 2-3 minute area. Kato Cotton finishing it off with a nice TD reception, putting Texas back on top. And that extra point miss could loom either way. It's been a 2-point game now for a while.
Hamill pumps once. There's Skip Stewart. Oh, nice. Guess who? Number 8, Dwayne Ware. He's everywhere.
Dwayne Ware is truly an example of arena football and versatility. We've seen him on receptions. We've seen him on returns. Offensive, nice job with the pump fake and then going deep. See Ware coming in right at the end. Nice job getting his hand in between. The ball was actually in the receiver's hands. Ware got his hand up in between and actually pulled the ball out. Great job saving the touchdown that Skip Stewart had in his hands.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs at the Texas 14-yard line. Compton, the motion man. Stewart, the receiver. Gain of about 2, and he gets hammered hard. Maybe a little too hard. Flags in the play.
Little extracurricular over there. Hit hard into the wall. Taking exception to the hit against the wall. Maybe a late hit here. I don't know. I'm going to see that one again. See the pass out to Stewart. Cotton with the tackle. Well, you know, he was right almost into the wall, and then the hit comes. That's kind of close.
And ruled after the play was over. Unnecessary roughness. Number 80 defense. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
You know, you saw Texas coach Dave Ewart kick the sideline boards there, the wall. He doesn't like penalties like that, and I don't think any coach does. And maybe if there's a little extra intensity on the part of Milwaukee and these two teams, look at the number of Milwaukee Mustangs who hail from Texas.
Yeah, I don't think there's talking to coaches and players before this game, you get the feel there's not a lot of love lost here. And that hit was close. I mean, it was very close. Could have gone either way. I think I might have kept the flag in my pocket on that one, but the ref trying to keep control of the game.
Milwaukee players said they asked for about 400 tickets tonight here at the Summit. That pass incomplete. Intended for Jeff Savage. Woo. Let's go back to the sideline with Todd Hamill. Huh?
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's read this, okay? Let's read it. Let's go two-sided, right, 60Z go.
Right refers to the side of the formation. Let's go right. It has the receivers.
Down, ready? The 60 indicates it'll be a 5-step drop, so it'll be a pattern that'll take a little time to develop.
Get up here! Go!
Face. Hamill's got a touchdown. Strickland flag on the play, though.
Looks like it's going to go against Texas. See the pump fake and then go to the 5-step and come right over the middle. Boy, he threaded the needle. Great pass also up high. 2 penalties in the row against Dave Eward's team. The personal foul and the holding.
Stucker on to attempt the extra point. It is up. It is good. And so Milwaukee back out in front. The touchdown pass, Todd Hamill to Ralph Strickland. Mustangs lead by 5.
While Tony Hawk trained for the X Games, Mike volunteered to babysit Tony's son. The kid learned some new vocabulary, like boxcars, snake eyes, and sucker. Nothing like good child care.
The X Games, presented by Keystone Light.
It's your first company picnic.
Nice tie, sir.
Time to advance the old career.
Nice party, boss.
And get a little face time with the boss.
Nice scalp, sir.
Don't let bitter beer stand in your way. Drink Keystone, America's never bitter beer. Never a bad taste, never a bitter face. Have you met my daughter?
We've met all right.
Stop making faces. Drink Keystone, the official beer of the ESPN X Games. Look for the X Games gear offer wherever you buy Keystone Light.
New Castrol Super Clean All-Wheel Cleaner is uniquely formulated to instantly release brake dust and road grime, so your wheels will look new, even if your car isn't. Castrol Super Clean All-Wheel Cleaner outperforms all leading wheel cleaners.
Good football game going between Eastern Division foes of the Arena Football League, Milwaukee and Texas. The Mustangs have just taken a 33-28 lead. A reminder coming up on ESPN and ESPN2. It all begins June 20th. 11 days, 11 events. Everything from sky surfing to inline skating. The X Games from San Diego, California. Dwayne Ware, the deep man for Texas.
Let's see what else Dwayne Ware can do. What else does he have up his sleeve? Oh, not much there. When you don't field it, whenever you don't field it clean off the nets, very difficult for the return to ever get any momentum.
It's difficult enough to concentrate with all these people coming barreling down on you, and then you have to have extra concentration to watch that ball coming off the net.
So you got to figure all the people running down at you, and your back's to them. While you're waiting for the ball to come off the net, your back is to them, not knowing that after you catch it and turn around, you might get stung.
Not knowing but hearing, that's for sure. 8:10 remaining, third quarter. Texas trying to come back. That pass incomplete. Dalzell intended for Bernard Holmes. A lot of souvenirs tonight.
You're starting to see some of the play calling go to automatic rollouts by Dalzell. Last week you talked about he got stuck in the pocket with some good pressure. Now it looks like they're trying to free him up to the outside. He's doing more half rolls.
Here we go. Left close, wing, wide loop, 50, wide bingo. Wing up, left close, wing loop, 50, wide bingo. On, ready? Hurry up, hurry. Close.
50 in Texas is offense, indicates another 5-step drop.
And the bingo is an inside pattern by an outside pattern by the inside receiver. That one goes to Rodney Blackshear for a short gain.
See, not looking to get it all in one chuck. Nice safe route and out route. Milwaukee off in some zone. Michael Trigg likes to mix it up, but he does like man coverage. He likes to get up in the face of the receivers. That time, caught him back in the zone, went with the underneath route.
Chris Ford out of the lineup. Rodney Blackshear has been called upon to pick up some of the slack. The fourth-year pro from Texas Tech. Third down and 3 for the tear. Dalzell waiting patiently. That one underthrown. Bernard Holmes had a chance, but it would have been a very difficult catch.
Yeah, I think Dalzell wanted that one back. If he had a string, I think he'd have pulled that one back. See Holmes here, just the turnaround route, enough for the first down. Should have had it. I mean, it hits you in the chest and in the hands. You got to hang on to it. Not the best pass in the world, but you get that first down, it hits you in the chest. You got to get it.
53-yard attempt by Richard D. Felice. Oh, yes. 52 yards was the official distance. Richard D. Felice brings the Texas Terror back to within 2. A night when special teams have been very important.
Where did the power flow come from?
The new Power Flow sports bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. Power the working muscles when you need it. I am not done.
Texas pulls to within 2, courtesy of this 52-yard field goal by Richard D. Felice.
He's got plenty of room to spare. His long is 54, so he's kicked one a little longer than this. But this has easily enough distance.
Married life is doing him well.
Last year against San Jose on ESPN2, Richard D. Felice proposed to his then girlfriend on TV, on the field, and then married his now wife, Rena. He did it on ESPN2 last year against San Jose. Kind of a flair for the dramatics.
And a much better kicker because of it. That kick by D. Felice, high, deep, and out of here.
He is giving a lot of souvenirs to the people behind the nets.
Coaches might be wise to have a combine trial up behind the nets up there. You're going to find at least one arena football player.
You know, with the field 50 yards long and 8 yards deep, it's actually 58 yards off the tee to the net, and then they add that height. He is just stoking the ball.
Milwaukee leading 33-31 here with 5:34 remaining in the third quarter. The give to Brad Lacombe outside. The big man rumbles. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
Again, this team not afraid to run the ball. They're second in the league at doing it and second in the league at stopping it. So they're good at both ends. They love to give themselves room when they're deep in their own territory. And anytime you see them inside the 5-yard line, what normally would be a pass to most teams is a run with Milwaukee.
And if he's not wearing you out, Lincoln Coleman usually is. Lacombe again, the quick pitch. Out across the 15 to about the 17, 1st and 10, Milwaukee.
These guys do a nice job, Savage, Lacombe, and Coleman, of making something out of nothing. I mean, they ran to the short side of the field. It was bottled up at the line. He keeps his feet moving and tries to come over the top.
Left, one motion back, 61, Z hit screen. On one, ready? Screen, 61 Z hit screen.
The Z receiver, number 28, at the top of your screen. That's Skip Stewart. He should be the screen man. There it is. Boy, that was set up perfectly.
Great job by Strickland. Ralph Strickland with the block. When you're setting up the screen, your other 2 wide receivers turn into the blockers. Normally you'll see linemen out on screen. Now it's the receivers. And look right here, Strickland pushing out on Junior White, opening up the inside for Stewart. Great job. Always look for that in a receiver. If they're not catching the ball, what are they doing? Are they blocking downfield?
Ralph Strickland having a tremendous game. 1st and 10 Mustangs. They go back to the ground, and Brad Lacombe, Mitchell Benson had him, and then looked at his arms and said, where did he go? Benson, a 4th-year pro out of Texas Christian.
Also, Fred Petty does a nice job. This time they do a good job of just sliding down the line. Look at him, not going up the field, sliding, waiting for the cutback. And there's Petty. A nice job of not penetrating, going up the field. That creates cutback holes. They slide, they shuffle down the line, and don't give an open hole for the running back.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Make it 6. Andrews, the high motion man, and he was just wide open. They caught Texas in a coverage that was very favorable to David Andrews, and the easy touchdown reception.
And as soon as he caught that, you see number 8, Dwayne Ware on your screen. He's the man that gets beat. He was mad at himself as soon as it happened. He just started berating himself. He knew he didn't break over there in time. Should have saw that route the whole way. Nice job by Hamill and Andrews.
David Andrews, a second-year pro from Angelo State. Continuing where he left off a year ago, and the kick by Kenny Stucker is good. And now the Milwaukee Mustangs starting to pull away. They've got a 9-point lead. 2:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Back after this. Milwaukee Mustangs looking for their 5th consecutive victory here at the Summit in Houston against the Texas Terror. And the Mustangs have a 9-point lead here late in the third quarter. On ABC tomorrow at 5 Eastern, it's the International Race of Champions. 12 identical cars, the first of 4 races, all coming from Daytona International Speedway. Some are the featured drivers: Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Robbie Gordon, and Dale Jarrett. Ware catches the ball cleanly off the nets. Brought down by David Andrews, the man who caught the touchdown pass. Another candidate for tonight's Iron Man of the game as you look at the Mustangs scoring drive.
They had a lot better drive than the last drive. They had a lot of mistakes in that one. Plays didn't look like they were really clicking. This one, they got the running game a little more. Open that up, and that'll be used down the road. Now that they set up some running formations, they can use those for possibly some play action because Milwaukee is so good at running the ball. They'll use that for their advantage later in the game.
This will be a nice game for the Texas Terror to win because after tonight they go on the road for 2 tough games against New Jersey and Albany.
A real big game for both. You got Milwaukee down 1 game to Iowa, and they play next week. Texas down 2 games to Iowa, so a win here would at least keep them there, and then they would hope Milwaukee could bump off Iowa next week to bring them both those teams within a game of Texas.
And a real critical game for Milwaukee because in addition to the Barnstormers, after they play them, they've got Arizona the following week, Iowa again, and then Arizona and Nashville. So it's brutal from here on in for the Mustangs. Texas puts the ball in play in their old 3. Dalzell going for it all. Cotto Cotton. Incomplete. Stan Petrie, I should say.
He was with him stride for stride. This time Dalzell has some time. Looking at him all the way. Lays it up, but you're going to see Petrie right there. Nice job of waiting till the ball comes. Doesn't get out jumped. Goes up with the receiver to get his hand in the way. A lot of times it's who jumps highest that gets those balls. He jumped the same time as the receiver did, able to knock it out.
2nd and 10. Bernard Holmes, the motion man, runs that little stop pattern. Gain of 7.
What, man? If they do, let's tell them to go by him. Tell them to go by him. Okay. Wings them or what? Yeah. Tell them to go by him.
Dalzell talking to his offensive coordinator.
Go by him. Right wings do 90 stop. On, ready?
They're called 90 stop, 3-step drop. But they're saying if they're in man coverage, if they come up and squat down on them, they're going to go and turn it into a deep route.
Holmes just goes for the first down instead. That's where Dalzell goes to Bernard Holmes. The loss of Chris Ford, he has become Texas's main man.
A lot of plays, especially with quarterbacks that have had some experience and are playing well, have a good feel for the offense, they're giving them choices. There are a lot more options than just running certain routes. They're saying, okay, do this, but if this happens, we'll go to that. So more than one thing can happen on each play.
Final seconds here of the third quarter. Dalzell has a wide open Edwin Howard deep into Milwaukee territory. territory down to the 10-yard line. So Texas trailing by 9, but on the move against Milwaukee. We'll be back with the start of the 4th after this.
If you want great taste without all the fat, then go to Subway for a fresh sandwich. And right now, for a limited time, we've livened up our roasted chicken breast sandwich with the sweet, delicious flavor of Grey Poupon honey mustard. Take the Subway challenge at a Subway near you.
What's the right grip feel like? Should you use the same club on every chip shot? The answers are in Golf Digest. No matter how well you play, you'll find tips and advice that will dramatically improve your game. Guaranteed. Want to know where the slot is at the top of your backswing? Or if you're good enough to carry a 4-iron, subscribe to Golf Digest. 12 issues are only $19.77. You'll also get our video, Hit It Longer and Straighter, free.
Call 800-247-3900. That's 800-247-3900.
Clint Dalzell used to play for the Milwaukee Mustangs, backing up Todd Hamill, and he got some work last year in a game against Texas that Milwaukee won big. The man he backed up, Todd Hamill.
You know, and as you said before, you know, Michael Trigg just couldn't hang on to both of them. You know, Clint Dalzell, a great quarterback, and as a backup, you know, tough to keep that attitude when you know you can play and you're a backup. You get frustrated. That may spill over onto the field. Michael Trigg said, hey, this guy's too good. Hamill's a quarterback. He had a career year last year. There's no way I can keep Dalzell here. Why not try and get something for him in a trade?
Clint has become a very popular player for Dave Ewart. Played his college football at East Texas State. And Dave Ewart, the youngest head coach in the league. He said if Leslie Alexander, the owner of the team, offered him a 10-year contract tomorrow, he'd stay with Arena. He loves it that much. Bernard Holmes, the motion man, but they go underneath the Lloyd Hill. It bounces out of his hands. That should have been a touchdown.
Great job running off Holmes, ran off the defensive backs. Hill just came right underneath it, and he's wide open. You can see he'll come right across your screen here. Right in the hand, you got to make that catch. Holmes did a nice job running everybody off. Crossing routes are big in arena football, trying to get the defensive backs to pull off the middleman. It worked there. Hill just didn't hang on to the ball.
2nd and 10, 4th quarter just underway. Texas trailing by 9. The pump fake. Bernard Holmes. Dalzell threw that football the only place it possibly could have been.
We saw Wayne Wade make a play on that in the first quarter, come over and knock it away. This time Dalzell puts it out of his reach. This is a touch pass. He lofts it up and he's got to lead him. Wade not able to get there that time and get his hand in the way as he did last time. That was a touch pass all the way. No power on it, no strength on it, just lofted it.
Net play, on, ready?
And they are going for 2.
Go!
Off the net. Interesting play, but give credit to Wayne Wade, number 17, for reading it perfectly. But the Texas Terror have clawed back. They're down by 3.
In yet another torture test, we drained the oil from this car and added just this much Castrol Syntec. We then ran it over 100 miles per hour and waited and waited. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. And if a little Syntec can protect under these conditions, imagine what a full oil change can do. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't. And for your toughest cleaning tasks, try any Castrol Super Clean product.
Where did the power flow come from?
The new Power Flow sports bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. power the working muscles when you need it.
I am not done.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star Game. These cards are amazing, and the fans love them.
Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, with stats like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate, fans who call 1-800-NFL-9919 apply for a great no annual fee Visa card that provides valuable insider information.
NFL Team Visa cards take you where the action is. Call 1-800-NFL-9919 today.
Mike Golic, one of the interesting plays we have seen all year, the attempt for the two-point conversion. And watch the motion man at the top of your screen.
Be number 21, Holmes. You're going to see him in motion. The play designed to go off the net. Off the net is live. See, Dalzell just throws it right off the net. Holmes supposed to be there for the bounce. But Wayne Ward says, no, not happening. Wayne Wade, I'm sorry.
That's the right idea, Clint. Run them up the flagpole. And if they don't fly, just try it again on some other game.
Use that screen for a whole lot of things off that net. It is all live.
However, his fourth touchdown pass has brought the Terror to within 3 points. Milwaukee now. And Ralph Strickland, what a dangerous man he has been for the Mustangs. Playing in place of Mike Miller.
Who waived earlier by the team, just re-signed yesterday. Guy's got 4.3 speed. He's a flyer, and they really needed to count on him tonight, and he has produced.
Played his collegiate football at Northern Illinois. Todd Hamill, another one of those Milwaukee players with the Texas connection. That pass intended for Strickland. Couldn't hang on. He got a big stick, though, by Billy Mitchell, number 22, first-year pro out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, he just started bobbling the ball, and then Mitchell came up and put the finishing touches on it. Nice scoring drive by Texas. We've seen some good ones, usually 4 plays and up on all these scoring drives, really mixing up the plays well.
I think both teams have played decidedly better here in the second half. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs. Stan Petrie, the motion man, and going long, and Hamill's looking for him. He's open. Off his fingertips. Dwayne Ware is right there.
Why not? If somebody's involved in a play, it might as well be Dwayne Ware. He's been everywhere tonight. Hamill almost gets that completion. A nice long throw. Straight drop back, 5-stepper, just going deep.
You know, the tough thing about being a defensive specialist in this league as we watch it, Dwayne Ware, is that you don't get a chance for redemption on offense. You're going to get beat as a DB, but if you do, you usually get a chance to come back as a wide receiver, not in Dwayne Ware's case, and he's having a great game. Hamill's pass complete to Gary Compton. First down, Milwaukee. Texas quarterback Clint Dalzell joins us now from the Terrace sideline. Clint, you happy the way things are going now here, especially here in the fourth quarter? The play of your team in the fourth quarter, a little smoother now, yes? Clint having difficulty hearing us. We'll try to check in with him later. But he's having a big night.
Either that or he just didn't want to answer you, Mike.
Okay, big boy, you ask him next time. Milwaukee on the move with a 3-point lead. The draw play to Lincoln Coleman. His rotation now in the backfield, replacing Brad Lacombe, who had a good game.
Lincoln Coleman, you see a little bit of that stiff arm coming out now. You don't see that much, but these guys know you see more different kind of running plays, draws, pitches, cross-buck action runs with Milwaukee than any other team.
And fresh legs against guys who are playing up front both ways.
10 minutes to go in the game, fourth quarter. Conditioning definitely will be a factor now.
Hamill, looking for Compton. He got one paw on it, but it was behind him. That'd have been the circus in nature had he pulled it in.
Just trying to split the zone there. Had a man on the outside and a man deep. Compton just ran right in between them. Pass was behind him. If he let him, though, I don't know if Cotto Cotton was there. He may have been able to make a play on it if he was led. That may be why he tried to keep the throw behind him.
All right, let's keep an eye now on the Texas front three. Jamie Bragg, 99. Carlos Fowler, number 77. Also Chad Cofer, number 90. They're the men that have to put some pressure on Hamill. Compton in motion. The pitch to Jeff Savage. More fresh legs, another pair of fresh legs.
That time with 3 yards, they're just trying to get the first down. Again, running the short side of the field. And it looks close. You're right, it is. You look at the defensive lineman, hands on hips. These guys are wearing down a little bit. They can only be substituted for once. Once they come out and come back in, if they go out again, they're done. So they'll only get one break in the quarter.
From the bench, the Milwaukee players are signaling first down. The referee agrees, and the Mustangs continue their drive.
Look for Milwaukee. Plenty of time to still try and pound that ball. It was Coleman. It was Lacombe. Now it's Savage.
Here we go. Right, 60, Z go. First down, ready?
Z go. Skip Stewart, 28. Or actually, the Z receiver is number 6, Stan Petrie, but they throw underneath to Gary Compton, number 2. More positive yardage for the Mustangs.
Yeah, whenever you hear the play call, you hear the Z go. That's just talking to one of the receivers.
Exactly.
Now, after that's called, the other 2 receivers automatically know what route they're supposed to run. Usually if it's a Z go, that means the Z-man is doing the long route, so you'll see the other 2 receivers do more short routes. They'll be the second and third receivers.
Second down now for the Mustangs. Inside the 10. There's that quick little give inside. This time Savage gets it down to the 2-yard line. That Milwaukee running game, very impressive.
Well, what they like doing, they started in motion. They make everything look like it's going to the left. Even the fullback, Savage, takes a step to the left, and then they come back. Again, it's called the old crossbuck action. They're starting everybody's momentum one way and just running back across it.
The only other team in the league that runs as impressively, I think, as Milwaukee does is Iowa, with their 2, Andre Allen and Moten.
Right.
Orlando pretty good in that department as well.
See, Milwaukee already passed what they've done, and they are behind Orlando for the top spot.
They give to Savage again. Gets one before Kofer wraps him up.
And talking to Michael Trigg before the game, he said inside the 5, they'll just batter you right now. They already have the lead by 3. They keep the clock running.
All the things you're supposed to do with a good running game.
Don't be surprised if they try it again, or maybe something off the run. Now they set them up with a couple of runs in a row. Look for possibly something off the running play.
7:15 remaining here in the 4th and final quarter. Milwaukee trying to pad their 3-point lead. Savage. No signal from the officials. Down on about the 1-foot line.
No bones about this play. It's straight up the gut. The receivers are wide. Give it to them right up and let them try and gut out the yardage. All you're looking for from your offensive line is a little bit of a push. Defensive-wise, they want to go low and make some penetration and not let them get past the line of scrimmage.
Good work being done by Arnold Campbell, the center, and also Brian Drummey, the guard. This time Hamill's going to take it himself. Touchdown, Milwaukee.
Almost the exact same play we saw Clint Dalzell score on, is you let the running back be the lead blocker. Usually they've been handing off the ball to Savage. This time they don't. He becomes the lead blocker. Hamill cuts on the inside of his block in for the score. And I think he just got a flag. Savage, very angry, yelling at somebody out there.
Offense.
240-pounder out of Arkansas, part of that three-headed fullback, as you've dubbed him tonight, and took exception with something after that play, and just his teammates trying to calm him down. He just kept saying something, and the refs will get you for verbal taunting, and it's not just physical, but if you're yapping too much, they're going to throw the flag on you.
Very fine line between playing with emotion and staying in control. Mike Trigg telling Jeff Savage to calm down just a little bit. Jeff's too good a football player to incur penalties like that.
Played his high school ball in Plano, huge high school football bed. They actually have a Jeff Savage Day in Plano, Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah. And they say he usually shows up to it.
Well, they have the Mike Golic days back in Cleveland, don't they?
They stopped that a long time ago.
Strickland on to attempt the extra point. Kenny Stucker's extra point is good. And the Milwaukee Mustangs have extended their lead to 10, and time running out on Texas, 5:29 remaining in the game.
To most people, this is just a uniform. But to me, it's something more. Every time I put it on, it makes me feel better and stronger than I was yesterday. When I'm in this uniform, I know no limits. You gotta see the pride in my mom's eyes. Or the way my friends look up to me. But none of that matches the satisfaction I feel inside. That's the pride of being a soldier in the U.S. Army.
Interested in wearing this uniform? Then now is the best time to call this toll-free number. Because we've got new incentives that make joining more rewarding than ever. Now you can earn up to $40,000 for college. Or if you have college loans, we'll help you pay back up to $65,000. Or you may qualify for an enlistment bonus of up to $12,000. Ready to wear this uniform? Call now for more information. There's no obligation. Call today to find out how the Army can bring out the best of what's inside you. You. Be all you can be.
ESPN2's coverage of arena football is brought to you by MBNA America, the official credit card of the Arena Football League. Mike Adamle and Mike Golic with you here at the Summit in Houston. Final 5:29 remaining in this game, and if there's some solace for the Texas Terror, something to hang their hat on, it's the fact that Milwaukee gives up more points in the fourth quarter than any other. Texas down by 10. Mustangs allowing 15.5 in the final stanza so far this season. Kenny Stucker to kick off. It's going to be a perfect carom for Dwayne Ware up the left sidelines. Michael James knocks him out of bounds. And that's where Texas and Clint Dalzell will put the ball in play. They trail by 10.
You know, talking to Michael Trigg before the game, he talked about defensive stops. They're enforcing that penalty that happened on the touchdown right now, adding 8 yards. But Michael Trigg talked about stops. He said he wants 2 to 3 stops per half. First half, they got 3 stops. This half so far, no stops.
That penalty by Savage gives the Texas Terror, incidentally, great field position just shy of the midfield mark. Pass completion to Edwin Howard.
Right close, wing loop, 50 wing choice.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Right close, wing loop, 50, wing choice. On one, ready?
All right, so the wing gets his choice to 50 again, the 5-step drop. And the wingman, number 21, he's going to get his choice when he sees how the defensive back is covering him.
Okay, he's working on Wayne Wade. Gave him a nice little okey-doke. Dalzell instead went to the underneath man, Edwin Howard.
Dalzell had to go away from Holmes right away before he could make his choice. He got a little bit of pressure up the middle, so he had to go to his secondary receiver. See the 5-step drop. Drummy coming up the middle, getting in his face a little bit. Dalzell knows he won't have time to wait for Holmes to make his choice, so moves to the second man.
1st and 10, however, for Texas at the Milwaukee 10. Holmes again, the motion man. Underneath to Edwin Howard. Touchdown just like that. The rangy receiver from Rice.
Talked about him at the top at 6'4", 210. A lot of comparisons to Barry Wagner. Use his height, get him the ball on these slants. Let him create after the play. Doesn't go down as easy as some of the smaller receivers will. Just spins off the shoulder tackle attempt into the end zone.
Any kind of comparison to Mr. Wagner is high praise indeed, but Howard's got a long way to go. He's just scratching the surface. Still has to play defense one of these days. DeFelice on to attempt the extra point and bring the Terror back to within 3 points. So we've got a barn burner here at the Summit in Houston. Texas Terror will try to get back when we return.
Of all the challengers he must face, none is so determined, so relentless, so diabolically ingenious as you. Taco Bell introduces the Unmasked Batman game. Just peel back Batman's mask to reveal Bruce Wayne, and you can win cash. One of millions of prizes, or even a Batmobile, instantly. Yeah! Only you can unmask Batman, only at Taco Bell.
The new Firestone FT70C was tested at 50 miles per hour against the Goodyear Aquatred 2. The difference in the Firestone tire is Unity technology. The Firestone FT70C stopped an average of 12 feet shorter than Aquatred 2. Your results will vary, but that's a lot of feet. The difference is Unity technology in the new Firestone FT70C. Get a $25 certificate from the Sharper Image when you buy 4 Firestone FT70C tires.
Mike Adamle and Mike Golic back with you here at the Summit in Houston. This is a game that Yogi Berra would have loved. It's never over till it's over in arena football. Milwaukee holding on to a 3-point lead as Texas has just scored. 47-44 the score, 3:24 remaining in this game. That's assuming we don't go to OT.
Big series here with 3 minutes. Texas desperately needs a stop here. All the people behind the net on the other end lining up for the Richard DeFelice kickoff. More than a few have ended up over the net with the fans tonight.
6 to be exact. Free footballs. Will this be another? No wind in his face. Oh, he booms this one, yeah. And another mad scramble. He's not going to give that up for anything.
He went down for it. It's like a party in those end zone. Who's going to end up with it?
Officially the 8th giveaway of the evening. Right now, Texas's fine quarterback Clint Dalzell joins us from the sideline. You know, your coach was joking, Clint, that he said, hey, we'll score 50 if you'll hold them to 49. Well, you're almost there. Pleased the way things are going so far tonight offensively?
Yeah, pretty pleased. I just hope we'll get one more chance, one more series to get in the end zone. I think we'll come out all right.
All right, Clint, hang on with us 1 sec. We're going to watch this play come back right to you.
You bet.
Andrews in motion. Hamill to throw. Flags in the play. Hamill going for Andrews. Ware back on the coverage. He breaks up yet another pass.
Hey, Clint, is there a little extra juice in you coming from Milwaukee now to Texas, a backup there a couple years? A little extra zing in the throws tonight, a little more jump in the fire?
Oh, yeah. We've already exchanged words with the general manager tonight. You know, nothing real bad, a little competitiveness.
The important thing, though, victory tonight sets you up for a legitimate playoff run, does it not?
Sure. This is our tough stretch right now, the last 3 games we played. I think we're going to come into a little easier schedule. Of course, no game's easy in this game, so if we can get a win tonight, I think we'll be on a roll.
All right, Clint, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the remaining 2:50 in the game.
Thank you.
Texas on an infraction. One of their linebackers breaking the plane of the defensive line. Can't get that close to the defensive line again. That was called by the hard count of Hamill.
Not a knock against the guys who play in the show, but wouldn't you love to do an NFL game and have access to Dan Marino in the third quarter?
Dan, put the headphones on.
Hamill to throw. Skip Stewart open. Touchdown, Milwaukee. Oh, my goodness.
You know, we talked about defensively for Texas, Dwayne Ware being everywhere, and on returns, unfortunately, the last two scores for Milwaukee, he's been on the wrong end and gotten beat deep. Nice out route, great timing. You see Ware falls down. He would have been come up, just be able to push Stewart out of bounds. He falls down. Stewart just branches into the end zone. Again, trying to make it a 10-point lead. Been Texas' downfall, but been scoring a lot of points, but their defense statistically ranked last in the league.
Last in scoring defense, last in total defense. Kenny Stucker's extra point attempt. Not picture perfect, but it's good. It counts. Some extracurricular activities going on the field. Tempers a little heated, as you might expect at this stage of the game between two teams. As you mentioned earlier, Mike, trying to keep pace with the Iowa Barnstormers in the Eastern Division.
Well, refs step in quick, especially when there's some extracurricular going. They're not going to take it. They're going to keep a hard line on this game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4 of the kickers. After the PAT was successful, the points good will penalize after the kickoff.
So another big penalty against Milwaukee, and maybe Texas can take advantage of it again. They trail by 10. Stay with us.
Where did the power flow come from?
The new Power Flow sports bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. Power the working muscles when you need it. I am not done.
.37 remaining in the fourth and final quarter. The Milwaukee Mustangs on top of the Texas Terror by 10, 54-44. Reminder, the Sunday night baseball game of the week on ESPN, 8 Eastern. Boston versus the New York Mets, the ESPN's first interleague game between two teams who have not met since the 1986 World Series. Mike, a pair of outstanding first basemen, Mo Vaughn for the Red Sox and John Olerud for the New York Mets. Stucker's kick, again fielded by Ware. Boy, this would be a perfect time for a big return, but some nice open field tackling by David Andrews, number 4. Tonight's Old Spice storyline, we talked about this being a tale of two quarterbacks, Hamill and his understudy back in Milwaukee last year, having terrific evenings, 10 touchdowns between the two of them.
Yeah, they're battling. They've got almost an even game going. You look down at that rushing, that is a huge statistic. Milwaukee really pulling some games out because of their ability to rush, not only run the ball, but then set up the plays off the run.
And that may be the difference between these two teams tonight. Lincoln Coleman, Jeff Savage, and Brad Lacombe, the three-headed fullback for Milwaukee, doing the job on the ground for the Mustangs. Texas trying to battle back here in the waning moments. Dalzell, interception, picked off by Michael James. Touchdown, Mustangs.
That could be the proverbial nail in the coffin. We've seen Dalzell escape the pressure. This time he doesn't. No, every time the ends have stayed inside and he's gotten outside. This time he's got nowhere to go. They're coming from the middle and from the sides. Nowhere for him to run. Puts the ball up. This is exactly what happened to him last week against Orlando.
And I'm not sure Clint ever saw Michael James. He was kind of screened behind one of Clint's other receivers.
And he had been escaping all night tonight. Last week at the end of the Orlando game, they started getting that cup protection. closing in around Clint Dalzell and affected his throws just like that pressure did right there.
Michael James came into tonight's game 4th in the league in tackles. He'll jump up the list in interceptions as well. He's got 2 picks tonight. Like a dagger through the heart, the Milwaukee Mustangs, that big interception, for all intents and purposes, have won this thing. They lead 61-44.
The reality is, just because you're a former athlete, it doesn't qualify you to be a Sports Center anchor.
After the Olympic gold medal, the Rhodes Scholarship, 10 years with the New York Knicks, I was a U.S. Senator for 18 years.
How about any writing experience?
Well, I wrote 3 books, one on the bestseller list, and the Tax Reform Act of 1986.
But no TV writing.
Any experience in front of an audience? Well, I gave a keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. I meant a large audience. Oh.
Following the interception by Milwaukee's Michael James, the Mustangs well on their way to their 5th consecutive victory. They have taken a 61-44 lead over the Texas Terror here at the Summit in Houston. Big Frank, I know, tough night. Coming up following our game, RPM tonight, television's first daily program devoted to racing. Join Kenny Mayne from our studios in Bristol, Connecticut. RPM tonight.
Dave, you were not too happy with what's happened tonight if Michael James could have sealed this victory. In 1995, James set an AFL record, 4 interceptions in one game. So go 2 tonight, a great night. Still a couple away from a record he holds.
Kenny Stucker has almost been Richard DeFelice's equal as far as booming kicks. Hits that soft netting between the uprights. But a nice pick by Cato Cotton. Look out, he's gone. Only Stucker standing in his way. He got a hand on him, but not before Cato picks up 10 more yards. Brad Lacombe, number 48, who's had a great night at fullback, doing the job on special teams.
Well, we've seen Dwayne Ware with a great return. We've seen Milwaukee with a couple of great returns. Now it's Cato Cotton's turn. He takes it around the end. Good seal blocks. You see the seal blocks. Then he cuts it back to the middle. This is all Stucker can do, is get in his way. They like him to make the tackle, gets in his way, slows him up for Lacombe to do a nice job hustling. Texas has got to score almost immediately on this play.
Cato, maybe Milwaukee's or Texas's best all-around player. 3 interceptions this year, 4 touchdown receptions. Very versatile player in college with the Arkansas Razorbacks. Dalzell and company not giving up. Cotton lunging for the end zone, but he steps out of bounds before he can get there at the 3.
And we are under a minute to go, so the clock will stop on incompletions, on out-of-bounds plays. It will stop. Just trying to let the receiver make the play here. Cato Cotton. Wayne Wade doing a nice job of getting him out of bounds.
The Milwaukee Mustangs, they have had quite a resurgence as you look at their record in the last 4 years, from 0-12 in 1994 till now. 10-4 in the regular season last year. Dalzell throws it away, and another free souvenir, number 9. Am I correct? Yeah, number 9.
We're going to have to get back to the company, make some more footballs for next week.
Well, I think what the players would like to see is, hey, don't give them away to the fans. Save some money in that department and distribute it to us.
Either that or work on the fans batting the ball onto the field.
Arnold Campbell, number 77, not giving up in the waning stages of this game. Helmet or no helmet, he's bound and determined to get to the quarterback.
You keep playing ball, whether it's on or off.
Dalzell with time for a couple of pump fakes. Touchdown, Edwin Howard.
Well, they're going to be hoping it's not too little too late. They haven't lost too much time, maybe 10 seconds, to get the lead possibly down to 10 or 9. See, it's coming right at you. Our cameraman's going to catch it. Howard gets in the way and makes the touchdown.
His second of the evening, but time has long stop being an ally of the Texas Terror. They will go for 2. If they're successful, it will pull them to within 9. Howard, the motion man. Is this one of those off-the-net plays again? No. Bernard Holmes. 2-point conversion is good.
You saw the last time they tried this on a 2-pointer, they had the motion, he threw it off the net. I think maybe the same play's coming. He does a little half roll and then comes back to the middle of the field. Dalzell's been liking that half roll tonight. It's been pretty successful. Through 6 touchdown passes tonight. Gives him a little more room outside that pocket.
Bought him a lot of time. Well, coming up on pay-per-view, Major League Soccer, look out for this stuff kicks. It's called MLS ESPN Shootout. You get up to 90 extra soccer matches you otherwise wouldn't see in your area. Only $69 for the entire year. Just call your cable operator or DirecTV to subscribe. MLS ESPN Shootout. Been a shootout here at the Summit in Houston. Milwaukee's been firing the best shots. They lead 61-52. Dave Ewert, the Texas coach, looking on and hoping for some kind of last-second miracle.
No doubt we're going to get an onside kick here. Texas still has all 3 timeouts they can try and use, but they really need to gain possession on this onside attempt.
Well, there it is. Hey, Big Ralph Jarvis, the sack specialist for Milwaukee, also fancies himself as a tight end, covering up there on the onside kick. You look at the weekly scoring in the Arena Football League from 80.3 in week 1, then a drop-off, and now they're back to 94.3. What do you attribute that to, Mike?
Well, you see in the beginning, offense is down. Defenses come along quicker than offenses. So on the defensive side, you see them playing a little better early. But as the season progresses, offenses start to get in rhythm. They're going to have the advantage on the defense.
Hamill, the quick handoff to Brad Lacombe.
Texas going to have to burn all their timeouts. Now, for the clock to run, you have to gain positive yards. And we're talking about Milwaukee's rushing attack right now, which has been phenomenal tonight, close to 60 yards.
Well, if you've liked what you've seen tonight so far from the Milwaukee Mustangs, we get to do it again next week from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee as they take on the Iowa Barnstormers, who are #1 in the Eastern Division and a threat to go all the way to the Arena Bowl like they did a year ago.
You know, we talked about Iowa's running game. That could be a Buddy Hayes special, 3 yards in a cloud of dust in that game. Now, that time they stopped him behind the line, so the clock is going to stop and they won't have to burn a timeout.
What do you think Woody Hayes would have thought about arena football?
He'd have loved the running. I'll tell you that. He'd have loved being able to be on the field as the coach. I think he'd have been in the huddle, though.
Mike Trigg and Todd Hamill trying to figure out how to eat the rest of the 30 seconds on the clock. Barring some kind of unforeseen disaster, they're on their way to their 5th consecutive victory. Hamill, nice little play-action fake, had 2 guys in the same spot, Skip Stewart and Gary Compton, incomplete.
I think he was throwing to Skip Stewart. But 2 in the same spot, you don't want to. I think Compton needed to cut that route off a little more east and west. He ended up in the same area as Stewart. Looked like Ware actually got a little bit of a piece of the ball, so neither one could get it.
Skip Stewart and Compton happy to have great nights here tonight in the Summit in Houston. Compton from Rowlett, Texas. Stewart from Dallas. And they are doing it to the Texas Terror here in Houston. Kenny Stucker's field goal attempt is good, but there's a flag on the play.
That was a big kick. That was a big points there.
And officially ends this thing if it stands.
They didn't get this. Texas down by 9. Quick score, onside kick, and possible possession again for a field goal to win it and scoring 10. Dave Ewart looks like he thinks the flag's against him. Big discussion here.
You know, unlike a national...
The field goal is good.
So Kenny Stucker's 25-yarder stands, and that will do it. Milwaukee Mustangs with a 64-52 lead over the Texas Terror. You know, I know why coaches die 1,000 deaths. You know, unlike hockey or basketball where there's long, drawn-out seasons, you only get 14 shots in the Arena League, and each one could be the difference between making the playoffs or not.
Oh, absolutely. In all the other sports, you got 162 games, 82 games. There's always, well, they got another game a couple days, and a couple days later you can make up for something or you can fix something. But you're right, when you expend 6 days of every week preparing for that one battle, it's a lot to make up when things don't go your way.
Still a remarkable improvement for Dave Ewart's football team. 0-7 a year ago here at the Summit, 1-13 for the season. No matter what happens here tonight, they still do have a bona fide chance to make the playoffs this year, as long as Clint Dalzell stays healthy at quarterback. Cato Cotton gets the ball out to the 20-yard line.
Well, you want to talk about a guy who's done it all in Arena.
The only man in the history of the league to wear all these different hats. Quarterback as a player, offensive coordinator, that was with the Dallas Texans, head coach and general manager of the Fort Worth franchise, and now head coach here.
Out of the 11 years this league has been going on, he's been involved 9 years of it in all these different capacities, the only person.
Well, I guarantee he's also been involved in player personnel. He's probably been the comptroller someplace.
I'm sure he probably, in a pinch, maybe taped a few ankles.
And drove the team bus. Hill calling it in. 14 seconds remaining.
You'll see Milwaukee back off in their coverage now. Give them the underneath routes. Let them work their way down the field. Try not to give up the big, quick score. This is a defensive lineman's dream right now. You know they're going to throw the ball. You know it's got to go somewhat deep. You should just pin your ears back and go.
Let's keep an eye on 99. Ralph Jarvis, the sack master. He loves going after these guys. Dalzell in trouble. Campbell chasing him with big number 77. 34-year-old, 8-year pro, drags Clint Dalzell down from behind with 7 seconds remaining in this game.
Good job by Campbell staying with it, forcing him. Then Gary Compton playing that linebacker that has to stay in the box. He's just reading Dalzell's eyes. Campbell ran him right to him. Texas burned their last time out. Now they either have to get an out-of-bounds play or get it to the end zone, or the clock keeps running. Well, Clint Dalzell got his first 2 shots at his old team this year and won a shootout. This one kind of getting away from him at the end.
Nothing wrong with the Texas Terror offense.
No.
They're going to have to shore it up defensively if they're going to challenge anybody in the playoffs, or even make the playoffs for that matter.
I don't know if they can do that. Cato Cotton ran across the line of scrimmage and then tried to go back. The ref wondering if they should call it, and you bet you got to call that.
False start. Number 99. 3-yard penalty. Replay to down. First down.
We're going to call it on the lineman, but Cato Cotton was 5 yards past the line of scrimmage in his motion.
Final couple of plays for the Texas Tear. Cato Cotton, dangerous when he's in the open field, fumbles the football, picked up by Skippy Stewart. And the former Golden Glove champions with the great hands. And that will do it. So the Milwaukee Mustangs win their 5th consecutive game, run their record to 5-2. Texas and their head coach Dave Ewart drops to 3-4 as they lose tonight to the Milwaukee Mustangs in their own backyard by a count of 64-52. Coming up next Saturday night, another barn burner, but this one's in the Bradley Center, not Des Moines, Iowa, at the barn, as the Barnstormers take on the Mustangs. 12 o'clock Eastern time. That's in the AM next Saturday night. Up next, RPM 2, Night with Kenny Mayne. For Mike Golic, I'm Mike Adamle. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everyone.